Grado SR225es. Made in USA, made in Brooklyn. $200, open back, and not very good. Sound really good, really uncomfortable. These are the Grados. So I've had these for about 2-3 months now. I really don't want to get rid of them because when I say they sound good, I more mean they sound unique. The nice thing about the Grados, though, what I've noticed is headphones in this price range that are reviewed pretty well, they sound very close to each other. So the difference between my Sennheiser HD6XXs and the Beyerdynamic DT990s, I have to do a lot of back and forth to really pinpoint what's different about it, as opposed to plugging in the Grados. There's an immediate difference. And for me, a lot of that has to do with, I guess, atmospheric soundstage, something like that. I'll put it this way. When I'm gaming with my friends and we're all yelling at each other, it feels like they're in the room with me, more so than the other headphones. And I think a lot of that is due to them being on the ear as opposed to over the ear. You get a lot different feel of the sound that way. And I really enjoy it, especially for rock music when I'm listening to guitars, not bass guitars, but regular guitars? Regular guitars. The sound is really impressive. When you're listening to lyrics, it just sounds so much different than my other headphones. The bass doesn't go too deep, so not ideal for hip-hop or electronic music. And the highs, at the very high highs, they can get a little bit fatiguing. But other than that, I really do think they sound great. The big issue with these headphones, though, is that they get, on me, they are just so uncomfortable after like 45 minutes. There are a couple different issues. The build quality, they do feel cheap. The cups that they use are made of this like foam material, and it's kind of scratchy, feels cheap. The speaker part of the headphone sits directly on your ear. There's no cushioning between there, so long-term listening for me, it just really bothered me. I just want to throw them off my head after like 45 minutes. The headphones themselves too, I don't like the cord because you can't disconnect it. And usually this wouldn't be a big deal, except my Grados have a little bit of an issue. The 3.5mm plug on the end, it doesn't seat very well on any 1/4-inch adapters that I have. And I use these 1/4-inch adapters with plenty of other headphones and they work fine. It's just a problem with the Grados. There might be an easy solution to that. I really don't want to spend a lot of time trying to fix that problem. But what would be easiest is if down the line, if something does happen, I could just disconnect that cord and replace it. These cords, you'd have to do surgery on the headphones in order to replace them. So that's a pretty big bummer on a $200 pair of headphones. Otherwise, it's just the little things. They're made out of plastic, so that plasticky feel does feel kind of cheap. They're glued together. You can tug on the earpiece on the audio cable right by the earpiece, and you'll hear this plastic clicking in and out. You don't get that on a lot of other headphones. The band too, you can bend the band to make an adjustment on your head. That's kind of nice, but I've never seen that in another headphone, and I kind of feel like I'm messing with the shape of the headphone doing that. It just feels kind of flimsy, like, not like it's gonna break, but like I'm damaging it in some way. It's just one of those things. It's not on other headphones. I'm not really sure why Grado is using it. It's a real bummer for me because I do like these headphones. When I put them on, again, I like listening to live music in them. I do enjoy gaming with them on, and they've got good imaging too. Like if you put on Pink Floyd's Money, you'll hear that catch register left and right, center channel. All of that sounds really impressive. It's great. I'd be more inclined to try something like the SR60s or 80s, which are a lot cheaper than these. And I'm curious as to how they hold up compared to the 225es. I was really hoping these would be a big step up. I have no idea because I haven't tried those headphones, but at this price point, I would go with something like the Beyerdynamics, which are a lot more comfortable. You still get really good sound. It's not worse than these. I don't want to say that either one of these is better than the other. It's just different. Probably more traditional. But something like the DT990s at 140 or the HD6XX from Sennheiser, from Massdrop, that's where I would put my money as opposed to the Grados. Hopefully I can find some Grados in the future that fit me though, because once I narrow this down to one set of headphones, I'm probably going to want something that I can use to play different types of music that sounds way different from the other headphones. So I'll keep Grado in mind in the future.